Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Top 3,000 Songs of the Rock Era. As you can see, I'm back from vacation. I'm back home in my studio now, which is nice, and I'll be able to resume my daily feature on a daily basis, probably until the next time I will go on vacation. And even then, I'll try to my best to keep up. Anyway, the song I'm featuring today at number 2216 is Panama by Van Halen. This came out in 1985, or at least that's when it peaked on the charts. And here's a picture of the single. And it was also released on their 1984 album called 1984. And here's a picture of Van Halen around the time they recorded. That's back when they had David Lee Roth, the guy third from the right. Yeah, pretty wild group, but they had some pretty great music, I think. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, heavy metal bands of all time. I'm not a huge fan of heavy metal, but I do really like Van Halen, including this song. And not a whole lot to say. I guess I'll start by featuring a sample of Panama. So here it goes. Okay, that's a minute or so. Panama by Van Halen. I learned something new about this song. You'd think I would have known this before, but this song, I used to think it was about a girl. I knew it wasn't about the country Panama. I wasn't sure why they picked that name, by the way. I guess I assumed it was about a woman from Panama or something, with hot shoes burning down the avenue. But it was actually about a car. At least that's what David Lee Roth said. I guess what happened was he was visiting Las Vegas and he went to a car race and he saw a race car there. I don't know if the race car's name was Panama, but he was very impressed by this one race car. I guess he called it Panama in the song, and the name stuck, and that's how the song was inspired. Anyway, I guess a little red Corvette by Prince, another song about a car where to kind of compare it to a woman. But anyway, it's a good catchy song with a good hard rock beat, and you can dance and groove to it or whatever, or bang, head bang, whatever you like to do to heavy metal. So I think it's a good song. I remember when the song came out, by the way. It was my senior year of college. I was just finishing up college, and I remember when this album, 1984, came out. This had their first number one, their only number one song, I think, "Jump," which is a song everybody knows by Van Halen, probably their most well-known song as well. Spent 5 weeks at number one. That one's coming in much, much higher in my list. I'm not going to say how high. But, I mean, there were three, I guess, hit songs on this album. The first was Jump, and that was followed by Panama. I think it was followed by I'll Wait, which I already featured. I think I featured that at number 2315. And, then the next hit was Panama. And I remember when I first heard Panama, I think my roommate played it on the radio. And I thought they were singing Animal. I thought he was singing Animal, Animal. Because it sounded like kind of an animalistic song, and David Lee Roth kind of acted like an animal. But and I was also telling my friend, I said, "Geez, these guys' songs all sound the same." And he said, "Yeah, they do. They all sound exactly the same." That didn't mean we didn't like them, but I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I think I even like Van Halen better now. I mean, their songs are very catchy, and Even though David Lee Roth had a huge ego, I think, he's a great singer. I think Eddie Van Halen's considered one of the greatest guitarists of all time. So they were a pretty great band. Great both with David Lee Roth, I think, and as well as with his replacement, Sammy Hagar. They sounded a lot different once they got Sammy Hagar in the group. Some people call him Van Hagar at that point. I don't know which version of them I like better. They were different. I'll just say that. So I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about the song Panama. I mean, like I already featured a few songs by Van Halen, so I'm not going to go into them in detail. But I've got several more of their songs coming up on my list. And I guess that completes my feature on Panama by Van Halen. So thank you for watching. You guys rock. I'll see you next time. Bye.